Hello and welcome back to Solar Factory episode 18. Last episode we built the nitrogen gas containment building. After episode update 8, moved that node a little bit away from where it was. So that's been done. That was feeding my nuclear generators, which are way over there, with their nitrogen gas required for that waste management process. Now that's done, we're back to what I was originally going to start working on with this when I resumed this video series, and that's creating and building a central storage location, area, department, hub, whatever. The idea behind this, that particular idea is to have all the items you're building, which is essentially in this area. These three areas. Oops. We've got half a dozen buildings over there. We've got half a dozen buildings behind me, or maybe 10 or so buildings, and again over there. All building particular things, and some of them are just getting resources droned in from other parts of the world and the environment. But we want to have them all stored in a central location. That'll involve conveyor belts going left, right, from where we're looking. Up and down as well, and to some central building. But before we even do that, I need to remove everything that we're looking at. So just to give an idea of what we're looking at, we're going to basically everything that's through here is all going to go. We're then going to remove essentially from here as well, all the way down to this way. And essentially everything in between will also go. So we can see we're going to move all this in front of us here. There's multiple levels to it, because that's the way I built the setup. So if we come down to here, just let me fall down, we can see we've got multiple layers. I think there's 4 in total. There's the one I'm currently on. There's that one, there's that one, and then there's the top level. So all 4 have got to go. All that will remain after that dismantling process is just the foundations holding up the existing belts that are in here. And once we've done that, it'll give us a clear idea of where we can possibly build the central location, and also what we may need to do to remove or move some of these existing belts to make it more easier to build the central location that I'm referring to, that I want to build. That's going to take a while, as you can imagine. I've got a lot to dismantle, so I'll probably do some montage or some sort of speed thingy, or I might just cut to it, I don't know. But basically when I come back, this is all going to look very, very different. Everything in front of us is going to be gone, and all we're going to see is just some belts in the sort of floating in midair as they sort of exist on their existing platforms. But that's going to take a while, so we'll come back. I'll come back when all that's done.
Three hours later.
Okay, 3 hours or so done so far, and I've done most of the chunks in the middle. As you can see, I've still got all in front of me to do to get rid of all the foundations. I've done all the foundations under that area, so all we just left was just floating conveyor belts. I've got to do this area, all through here, and likewise over there. And then I'm going to get rid of all of this underneath here as well. But it'll actually expose another storage area I've got that I don't go into that very often. But still a fair bit to go, probably another hour or so to go. So I shall return. Okay, another hour later and it's all removed. Everything is gone. So what you're looking at is floating conveyor belts where 3 or 4 levels of foundations used to be to manage all this stuff and make it all manageable and maintainable underneath is now completely exposed. What we have is this area here. Do that again. This area here was my first sort of storage area. It's all manually populated or manually filled in. This other area is this area here is all fuel for the one of the things. What is it? It's fuel for the not for that, but there's like a hover thing you can get. Okay, so that's it. Another hour out and we are done. I think I've got rid of everything. We might find the occasional one here and there. But what you're looking at is the left, what is remaining. So you've got belts going left, right, and the centre. We've got, oops, sorry about that. We've got a couple of storage areas. This one here is my first storage area. It's just got manually fed containers. This has got some sort of fuel. I can't remember what its name was. It's been a long time. I haven't needed it, but it's fuel for one of the character things you can get on the character for flying. I think it might just be called biofuel. And this is just another storage location which contains most of raw materials like iron ore and coal and that kind of stuff, and also has some of the Fixmas stuff. So Fixmas is the Christmas event that the game puts on every year. So it's got bits of trees and snow and all that kind of weird stuff that comes with that. We've obviously still got still got belts going left and right. So we've got belts obviously all coming from up in here for that other main factory. They're being just fed into primarily stuff to the left over to here. We've also got, you can see belts coming in through here. Again, most of them are going into here. Some, I think, may even go over to this one as well. There is this belt that goes all the way through here. It goes all the way through here, I think, and then eventually goes out to that way, and that's feeding sulfur from a node that's way somewhere over. Where is it? There, in fact. There it is, right there. Right where the reticle is. So you can see it just there. So that's where that goes. That'll have to be maintained because that's feeding the sulfur to the generators. Way over distance there. So now I'm in sort of thinking about how I'm going to create this. It would make more sense for each of these belt runs we've got, these ones here and these ones over here, to come to a central point and come out of a central point of each area and then go into a central point at the other ones. So that's probably the first or the next design challenge, is to reroute most of those belts so that they come out of their individual buildings but come out of that region as a central point, and that might be across 2 or 3 levels of belts potentially, or just one big stream of belts. I'm not too sure, because that's what will be then we want to bring out the other ones that aren't being used to feed other material making setups to come out as well. And that's what's going to be the challenge, because I've got to put this central building somewhere that each of the belts can be fed to relatively easily. Ones have got to go to another factory, to be another production tower, and also be fed into a storage container. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to do that bit yet. I mean, I've obviously got a lot of containers down here already filled, so where I built this thing, it'll probably be the most logical places to put it is somewhere, you know, relatively central. So it may just be that it gets built. So if we have these belts all coming out of, say, this left-hand second from left factory, all out through. Oops, I've left that marker on there. So you know, all of them come out of somewhere around here and all go that way. Then we could we then similarly have them all come out of that one there, the second from the right, all come out. There's very little coming out of this setup over here. Most of it is an inbound thing to that to help it make things, and then everything's stored centrally. So it could be that you have everything coming in on, say, come into this place and come out of here. So it could be in there and out that one. Could be an option. Similar to this, you could have ones that are coming out, say coming out this one and go in that one. So there's options there as well, and that might be the way we end up doing it, just to split the ones that are coming outbound of each section that need to go to other production towers versus just general getting out of the area as well. So that's another option we've got too. So I think my next little challenge is to figure out where I could potentially build the tower, the production block, production storage thing that's central, and it could be just where basically where these ones are, just built up, because it is kind of, if you have it coming out of that one into that one and out of this one, if most of these ones on that are up here are just feeding that stuff, I think the only inbound one is a here, because I think that's the one that's got aluminium casings and quartz crystal coming in for the crystal oscillators, and I think the filters are in that one there. So it could be that we just, because most of these, you can see 1, 2, 3, one of them is actually going nowhere, so there's only really, you can see the crystal oscillator, the quartz crystal does this weird pattern. It comes out here, left, and then goes that way. There might also be plastic there as well going somewhere. There might actually be 3 belts in here. There might be plastic in the middle one. Yeah, I think there might be plastic, quartz crystals, the closest one, plastic in the middle, and then aluminium casings might be there as well. But again, that's just going to, you see the plastic goes all the way through here. It comes through here and does that loop. So it might be that what we do is we make the change for these 3 that they all come in and all 3 of them go that way. So 3, 3. We get rid of that altogether, which then means we can change it that out of this setup we come out of here, which eventually all goes to that one over, you know, into this area over here. Then that might mean that we can then have, coming out of here, we just have, so that one doesn't go anywhere, so don't worry about that. So we've got a couple there and a couple, or 1 or 2 there, I think 1 or 2 there. So they could come out of here, come along, and then break right somewhere around here, for example, and come into this building section there, which we could have in from that one, in that one, and then out there. which will keep all three of them separate. And if I did it that way, then we could have splitters on the outbound of these ones to split back into a factory, which a storage area, which could be sort of like here, above this poisonous gas thing. You can't see it in there because we're so high, but there's poisonous gas coming out of this around this rock here. So if we did that, that might allow us to keep everything separate, and then things coming out of this section could come out of here, because the ones coming in from here are going to come in through that building, or under that building at least. That might be the way to do it. Then we can build the central unit, maybe sort of, essentially, sort of, you know, here. And then if you've got these belts that are going down, you've got these ones and these ones going down, they can split off to here, and then that can split off to there and that way. That would then feed the containers in here. Stuff would come out of this one, would just come straight into there. Ones out of here would come either, because you'd have one coming, you've got this other line would go into there, you'd have, yeah, so one that goes right across is going to be the issue. Anyway, so I'm not too sure how I'm going to do it logistically, but I think that's kind of where I'm at with this. I think the next step, which might actually be for the next video, will be to redo all these belt runs so they're all coming out of a consistent place, or at least starting out, coming out of a consistent point. And then we'll see how that looks from that. But that will probably be for episode 18, so not a particularly exciting one. Me just doing a bunch of removal. That took about 4 hours or so to complete remove all that stuff. So yeah, it'll be next video. We'll try and actually start building. We'll start moving around those belt runs to make them so that at least they're in some sort of straight lines, and there's a bit of grouping happening, so that we don't have as many coming out. We just have one outbound of each section and one down going to one location. But thank you for watching episode 18 of Solar Factory, and until the next one, thank you and see you later.